It's definitely getting cold here in Colorado. Winter has arrived. Welcome back to the shop, friends. I'm Cale. So, over the next few videos that I have planned for some of my newer woodworkers, I'm going to teach you how to build a straight line ripping jig for your table saw, and it'll work for a big table saw like this or a small contractor job site table saw. And I'm also going to teach you how to build a jointer sled for your table saw, so you can use your table saw to make a nice flat 90-degree edge if you want to glue two edge boards together, but you don't have a jointer. So pretty cool. That'll be the next few videos, but before we get into that, I wanted to make sure that you understood that it's important to make sure that your table saw is in good shape and ready before you start building jigs for your table saw and before you start using these jigs to cut higher precision pieces on your table saw. So what I want to do today is just briefly go over some of the adjustability of table saws. I have a Harvey Alpha Series table saw. Most table saws have some type of adjustability. I've seen people bend things that I'm going to show you. Please don't do that. That's probably not how you adjust your saw. So first and foremost, let's pause for safety here. I'm going to walk you over to the circuit breaker box. I'm going to show you that, so my table saw is wired into my wood shop. I actually wired it in myself. And so let's go turn off the circuit breaker first to make sure that the saw is safe for us to work around. If you have your saw plugged into an outlet, please unplug it. Please make sure you're safe around your table saw when you're doing this kind of maintenance. All right, so here we go. This, for a lot of woodworkers that may not know, let's just go through a little anatomy here. This is a riving knife. This is your table saw blade. This is your zero clearance insert. Typically, you'll have some type of a access point here to allow you to remove this riving knife, because there's some cases where you don't want to use it. In other cases, you might have a big dust collector assembly that attaches to the top of this. I used to have the big Harvey over 52-inch long dust collector, but all those tiny little microscopic screws that hold all the plastic together, they all vibrated loose and fell down into the saw and the whole thing fell apart. So I wasn't able to put it back together. What I want to show you is that it's important to make sure that your riving knife is aligned with your table saw blade. And in this case, you can see that it's not. I've actually specifically gone in and misadjusted my riving knife so it doesn't actually align with the blade. So if I were to pass a piece of material through here, it would go through the blade and then it would hit the edge of this riving knife and it would not want to proceed the rest of the way through the blade. And that's no good. So what you need to do is find the adjustments. On this particular saw, there's a series of Allen head screws under the insert plate here. And you can adjust those. The screws typically go like this, and you can loosen and tighten those Allen screws to tilt this riving knife in a variety of directions. So I'm going to show you, just so you know, you want it to be aligned with the blade like this. Please don't bend it. That's not how these are designed to be used. Find the adjustment screws, go gather up all of your Allen keys and whatever else you need, and make those adjustments, and then make sure they're snug when you're done, so this riving knife is nice and parallel to the blade. That's the first thing. The second thing is to make sure that your blade is perpendicular to your table. Now, most table saws, again, have a way to adjust this, usually with the big wheel in the front, and you can use a digital angle gauge. This is a Wixie. You can use a digital angle gauge if you want. The way these work is you put them on your table. It doesn't really matter if your table's sitting on a crooked floor. I'm in a garage that has a 3-degree slope for a watershed, so everything in here sits crooked. It doesn't really matter, so what you want to do is put this on your table saw, hit the 0 button. Now that's 0. Now you can move it to your saw blade and adjust your saw blade until it reads 90. That should get you pretty close. I would recommend buying these cheap machinist squares. You can find them on Amazon for just a few dollars. They are dead square as long as you don't drop them. And I would recommend using one of these to make sure that your table saw blade is nice and perpendicular to the surface of your table. Anyway, that's the second thing, is to make sure that your blade is perpendicular to your table surface. And why? Why do we want to do that? Well, if we're going to pass a piece of wood through here and rip it, and then we want to pass another piece of wood through and rip that, and then we want to edge glue them like this, if this isn't perpendicular to the surface, that cut's going to be a little crooked one way or the other, which means when we put our boards together, they're not going to mate up nice together. They're either going to go up like this or they're going to go down. So we want to make sure that this is all nice and aligned. And I would check this. The more you use your table saw, the more you should be checking this. I check it about once a week, and if I'm doing something really important, I'll check it before I even use my table saw. That's the second thing. Third thing is your fence. Your fence needs to be perpendicular to the table as well. Now this doesn't have to be as dead accurate as the blade, but you should get it as close as possible. Again, your particular table saw should have some adjustments to it that allow you to change the tilt of this such that you can adjust this angle to get it 90 degrees to the table. They also have adjustment screws on the front and back of this is called a Biesemeyer fence. So you can adjust these in or out to adjust the tilt of this such that it doesn't sit like this. If it does, as you pass material through, it's going to get pinched in the blade. You're going to smell a lot of smoke. You're probably going to see a lot of burning, and you're not going to get good cuts. So what you want to do is find yourself a way to get a good measurement. I like to use this edge of the table saw because it's machined from the factory. I've also adjusted my tabletop to my blade to make sure that this edge is parallel to the edge of this. On my particular table saw, there's 4 giant Allen bolts on the underneath. You loosen 3 of them and then use a rubber mallet and whack the tabletop to turn it until you get the alignment that you're looking for between these two. Your table saw may be different. At any rate, what I like to do is bring my Biesemeyer fence over right to the edge of that and then lock it. A lot of times when you lock your Biesemeyer fence, you'll notice that when it's unlocked, it looks nice and level, and then you lock it and it goes womp. You need to make sure that it's adjusted perfectly when it's locked, not when it's loose, because you're never going to use it like this. So get it nice and lined up. There you go. You see how that kind of moved there a little bit as I lock it? So you want to make sure that the fence itself is parallel to one of these openings on your table saw. So those are the 3 things to check. 1, make sure your riving knife is aligned with the blade. 2, make sure that your blade is at a 90-degree angle or as close as you can get it to the surface of your table saw. And 3, make sure that your fence is aligned both this direction, 90 degrees to the surface of your table saw, and this direction, parallel with the blade or with one of these edges of the throat opening. All right, so I think that's it. So if you're ready for more of this, please do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I release videos every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, Denver time. And the next series of videos that I drop are going to be how to create those jigs that I mentioned earlier in the video. After that, I'm going to show you how to use them to do straight line ripping. Let's say you have 2 boards that have ganked up edges and you can't really use your table saw fence. I'm going to teach you how to create a very simple sled that will allow you to use toggle clamps to clamp a board down and get a nice clean cut. It's getting cold in here, so I got to hurry up. I'm also going to show you in that same video, I'll show you how to build the jointer sled for this, so you can use this to joint boards flat, so you can join them edge to edge like this. And then beyond that, the next video after that is going to be the 3 woods that I recommend for beginner woodworkers and why. I have a very specific set of woods that I like to use for new woodworkers because some of them are more forgiving than others. Some of them are easier to work with. Some of them take paint and stain better. Anyway, a whole bunch of reasons. That'll be the next video. And then after that, I'm going to do videos showing you how to build something cool that you can build with your basic table saw tools using those 3 woods. So I hope you'll stick with me. Till next time, friends, that's it for me. Peace, love, and sawdust. I'm out.